And when this is over, and it'll be over in the next few years, these people have got to be prosecuted for what they've done. It's horrible, and it's been done deliberately. And they just keep on doing it over and over again. You know, the Fed talks about taking money out of the system, so they call in the TARP money, which they expect to have in January. Well, if they do that, what's going to happen is the stock market's going to go down, and go down a lot, because a lot of the TARP money was leveraged in the market, and that's why you see the market starting to go down. And on top of that, the money that they're pulling in from TARP, which is $700 billion net, the Treasury pops up and says, well, we want 150 or 200 billion of that. And then the president pops up and he says, well, I want the rest of it for stimulus. So that means that inflation is going to be 14% or higher next year. It's already 7.8%, and I haven't refigured the figures yet. They officially come out yesterday at the CPI and said 2.4% inflation. I mean, do you ever need a roadmap to see where this thing's going?
Well, I think they do that so they don't have to pay Social Security. They don't have to pay cost of living, but they're paying themselves a cost of living to all the government employees, but they aren't to the seniors in this country.
Well, what they're doing is leading to perhaps hyperinflation. It's leading to a dollar devaluation. It's leading to the end of the dollar as a reserve currency, which has been coming for a long time. They've just simply, via criminal enterprise, looted the entire American people. And it's all in their bank accounts, in all of the shares and the bonds and the gold and the silver and commodities and all those things that they own. That's where it all is. And they've got
now, we've
money.
got bank,
and that's why you can't
bank lending off by 16.2% year on year, and they were given all these funds to supposedly spur lending, and instead it's off by 16.2%. Explain that. What are they doing with the money, Mr. Chapman?
Well, the money that they received was used in generally two places. Number one, it was redeposited at a higher interest rate with the Fed, so that made their balance sheet look better, and they have this income coming in, which actually is coming from the American taxpayer, because the Fed profits after expenses go to the Treasury. So what they're doing is just looting the public and giving it to the banks. And then the rest of the money the banks have been using has been gambling at 30 and 40 to 1 in the stock market. That's what's been going on. But you're not going to read that in the Wall Street Journal. You're only going to hear it on Erskine Overnight, because this is one of the few places where you can get the truth.
What's a person to do? And I'll tell you what a person to do is. Robert Chapman tells you, he's been telling you for quite a while, he has been in gold since the 1970s. He was one of the major people. And if you're like I am, if you're old enough to remember that run-up during the Jimmy Carter years, got up to 850, and we thought, boy, oh boy, we're on the catbird seat when it got up that high. But now gold could double in 2010. Owning gold and silver, according to Mr. Chapman, isn't speculation. It's wealth preservation. Not speculation, it's wealth preservation. When you buy it, don't look at it every day. Set it there because it is wealth preservation. Don't worry about daily or weekly what happens with it. I don't even look at that, Mr. Chapman. I just feel like that over the long haul, gold is going to come out on the better end of things. And you say that is what we need to do. It's the only thing we can invest in today, right?
Right. And for those who are very wealthy and who don't want to be totally into that, then what they can very simply do is buy Canadian or Swiss treasuries, which will protect you from the dollar. Because as the dollar goes down, they'll go up in value. That is not the answer, because they're going to go down against gold as well. But if you have to have diversification, that's the place to do it. But it's gold and silver shares and gold and silver coins, gold and silver bullion, and there is no other place to go. And gold just came down about 110 or 20, $30 an ounce, and that's good. We needed a correction. We got it. What do? You buy. I had talked to somebody this morning who owns the stock,
yeah.
and they said to me, "What do I do?" I said, "Go in and buy another 1,000 shares of Agnico Eagle and another 100,000 shares another 10,000 shares of Mine Finders." And that's what you should be doing. You should be going in and buying some coins today. The price is down. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Gold is in a long-term bull market, the greatest bull market in history, even greater than the bull market they were seeing in the commodity market as well. And the money that's going to be made is going to be colossal.
Well, a couple of things that we can look at to see what's going on, and you examine this. Nobody else does other than Robert Chapman. Food stamps. 37.2 million on food stamps. 1 in 8 Americans are on food stamps. That's an 18% increase. Nevada, they're up 54%. Utah up 46.5%. The nation's use of food stamps is up dramatically. And that shows you what's happening in America, and you won't see that statistic anywhere else. 37.2 million on food stamps, 18% increase. That's telling you what's happening right there. More when we get back with Robert Chapman, the international forecaster. Not only does Mr. Chapman give you the statistics on food stamps, 1 in 8 now, an 18% increase, which really shows the real figures. They can't cover that one up. But state tax collections are off 16%, spending's up 6.2%. Mr. Chapman, states cannot issue too awful many ways that they can get extra money in on raising taxes. They're pretty much limited on that. What's going to happen? Are we going to have states going bankrupt? And how bad and how close is California, that has a huge percent of the population and is the food basket of the United States? What's going on with the states, Mr. Chapman?
Well, they're more interested in some minnows, so they've shut the water off to the Central Valley, and they're growing very little up there now. Come next spring, the inventory of grains and things like that are going to be gone. The price of grains and beans are going to go through the roof. A lot of people throughout the world are going to starve to death. California is going to be upside down, not only because their farming community has got serious problems caused by the state and federal government. You have 35% of the people who are now employed in L.A. County who are illegal aliens. None of them pay any taxes, and they're all living, off the system. California is going to collapse. Now, I knew that 14 years ago, 15 years ago. Now it's for sure. And there's a lot of other states that will as well. That's why the president very, very definitely needs a stimulus program, because a good part of that money has got to go to the states to pay unemployment, pay for education, and who knows what. And I have 2 letters to the editor going in. It was in yesterday's issue from a professor who is in California. They're devastating. And anybody wants a free copy, they can get one by contacting me. And
now, in California, you've got the California Public Employment Retirement System downgraded by Moody's. California State Teachers Retirement System downgraded by Moody's. There are a lot of people in the California Public Employment Retirement System and a lot of people in the State Teachers Retirement System. Our pensions and retirements all across the country are in serious trouble, aren't they?
3 to 5 years from now, and we'll say 5 to give me a little leeway, with the devaluation of the dollar and with the dreadful state of the economy, and I'm looking for unemployment 35 to 50%. And
wow.
With that said, people on pensions, Social Security, all of that, they're going to get 30 cents on the dollar. It's as simple as that.
Oh, my.
Now, prices will come down almost commensurately. What happens when you have devaluations is they come down. Like, let's say tomatoes were $1, and they turn dollars in 3 for 1. You got 1 new one for 3 old ones. Well, tomatoes would go to 32 cents a pound. Now, what happens when that happens is that people who are involved in the distribution of things, not only food, will start raising their prices. And they usually raise them anywhere between 10 and 20%, which makes the stranglehold even worse. And the only party that makes out from a devaluation is the government, because they're writing off all their debt.